Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mondays with Meg. This week, I have a very special guest with me, and we are going to be chatting all about the importance of writing from the heart. I am so pleased to introduce you to one of my dearest friends, Megan Schmitz. And y'all, you're here with Megan Schmitz, and Megan Schmitz. I just want that to not be missed on anyone here, of course, because it's double the trouble right here, double the Megs. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for spending some time with us today, Megan. Now, I do want to introduce you real quick. For those of you who don't know, Megan Schmitz is actually a long-time snail mail advocate. Same. I think we need a club.
Yes.
But she is also the designer behind Praxis Design Studio, which is a celebration creative house that specializes in exceptionally fun paper and everyday goodies. And if you have gone for just a second to her website, you know that every word of what I just said is so true. Welcome, Megan, and thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Kickstart Monday.
Now. Oh my gosh, so good. And as always, friends, if you have any questions or comments for us at all during this time, please shoot them in the chat because we would love to have this conversation right along with you. Emily, I love that you're on with us this morning. Okay, great. Well, friends, this week we're going to be talking all about the importance of writing from the heart. And I don't know about you, but I feel like this is needed now more than ever. And that's really what I'm hoping we spend a lot of our time together talking about today, because there's something about when you drop a letter into the mailbox, there is this surprise and excitement and gratitude that comes from receiving a handwritten letter that is immeasurable, you guys. I don't know if you've experienced it. I know I have. And I would say that today it seems really like this has become like a lost art because we all have technology at our fingertips all day, every day, and so love letters, thank you notes, birthday cards, all these things have now been condensed down into a short text, even an emoji or email. And it really just breaks my heart. How do you feel about that, Megan? Are you just as sad about that as I am?
I am. I mean, there are some great digital letter services out there. I mean, for invitations and stuff, which is cool. But if you're like me, I'm on my computer all day, I get tons of emails and I love texts from family and friends if they're checking in, but there's totally something about the tangible, to be able to hold it. And it's also, I think 10 times more unexpected than a text out of the blue. It's more personal, for the simple fact that it takes longer to do, to write a letter and mail it than it does to send a text. So I think that makes it extra special.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And, a handwritten letter absolutely can convey what technology simply can't. The intangible things like the person actually choosing a certain type of paper or a certain type of card or the color of ink of the pen or the postage that's used on the envelope. I don't know about you, but I buy specific stamps.
Oh yeah.
I don't just, It isn't forever, American flag on everything. I love these things and there's a reason for it. And there is such beauty of each letter coming together to form, anything from forming a word on a page to actually how you decorate the envelope, everything. So whether you are the writer or the reader, seriously, a handwritten note sent in the mail can help articulate feelings you never even knew you had. I know that has happened for me. And for all these reasons and more, I could make this case for reviving letter writing all day long. But we really just want to have some great conversation with you about it today. So Megan, why don't we start off? And all of you that are watching along with us today, I would love for you to answer this question too in the chat. I would love to read what you have to say about this. To you, what is so special about letter writing?
It's definitely that personal connection. And I think because of that tangibility of it, you can hold it And also like handwriting, you know, like unless you're like working in an office and you're like scribbling a to-do list down for like someone or notes, like you don't really like see handwriting anymore. It's just like that extra layer of like personalness. And then also, I mean, we all still go to the mailbox. Well, like I go down my driveway, or if it's attached to your house, whatever, we all still go get mail. And especially after like all this political mail that I'm sure just went like straight to the recycle. Like whenever you're like going through it and you see like that hand, like, you know, written address like to you, and you're like, what is this? You know, I mean, like there's a reason that people still send like Christmas cards, even people who are like super digital. It's because like it means something, you know, it like, it just makes you feel like closer to that person. And because they like took the time to pick out a card, or like you said, the paper, and like really just write like a heartfelt thought, even like address it, you know, like how many you have to look up people's addresses, or like, you know, ask them what it is, because like you might not have an address book anymore. So it's just like those extra steps, I think, make it like just extra special.
Yeah, and we actually have a comment here. The fact that someone was thinking about you that much to write you a letter. How, I mean, I have goosebumps on that. Like, absolutely. And I know that's how I feel about writing someone a letter. Like, it's so much more intimate to me than just let me send you a text, you know, like it's a very intimate act, and I love it. So, and I feel like, especially right now through social distancing, like, why do you feel like it's so important for us to be sending heartfelt snail mail versus other ways of communicating?
I think it's really like a huge pick-me-up in a lot of ways. Like I said, when you get to the mailbox and you see that envelope, like it's an instant like mood brightener. It's kind of like someone just like gave you a gift, you know, like you didn't even know was coming. And then like when they open it and like maybe it's like a card, you know, it's got like something cute or funny or sweet on the front, like that's bound to make them smile. And then like on the inside, your words, like it's who it's from, you know, like all these different factors like come in that like just make it more personal, more thoughtful. And like something you definitely can't do with a text message is like,
for sure,
where is it? What side is it? Like put it up, you know, like you can like display it, like put it on your mantle, on your desk, on your kitchen counter, whatever. Because, and then like every time you walk past it, you get to be like, that person sent me this card, or like you just, it just makes you feel those feel goods that like warm and fuzzy on the inside. So who doesn't want to be reminded of that?
Well, and like texts get deleted, you know, like letters are kind of legacy, you know, too. I mean, I don't know. We could go on about this for days, I'm sure. Well, what I would love to hear, like we actually just have a comment here too that says that her grandma is the only one who sends letters and cards, and it's always something that brightens their day. And I know when I was younger, I've mentioned before that I literally had over 100 pen pals at one point, totally crazy. But like when I was younger, like not high school, but like a little bit younger than that, my pen pals were my family, and we were all over the country. So literally that's how I kept in touch with everyone. I didn't call them. I didn't those things. I would write letters, and it was so special when I would get one back. So I would, speaking of which, I would love to hear, Megan, and anyone else that also wants to share with us, I would love to hear about a favorite letter that you received in your life.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of like I received it twice. So my grandparents would always send like each of their grandkids like a Christmas card every year, or like hand it to us if we went over to visit them, because they live pretty close. And the last year that my grandma was alive, my grandpa like gave us the Christmas cards, and like I didn't open it because like it was like my grandma had passed and it kind of like made me sad. So I took it home and I put it in a drawer, and I kind of forgot about it. So she was gone, and then my grandpa passed away. And then during that time, like I'd gotten engaged. And so like literally the day of my husband and mine's like wedding, I was going through a drawer, like looking for something, and I came across like this envelope, and I totally didn't even remember what was in it. And it just had my name on it. And I realized it was like my grandpa's handwriting, and I opened it up, and it was like the Christmas card that he had given us, the, you know, like I guess the year before, and it also had a gift card in it, and the gift card was actually enough to like cover like part of our dessert for the day of. It was because I was going to pick up that day. So it just like made me burst into tears because like not only was like his note in there, and like money doesn't mean anything, but it like felt like it was meant to be because like I was going to pick up donuts, and like my grandpa's, one of his favorite things was donuts. So it just was like this really special thing that kind of like came together. And I even asked for like the gift card back because I was like, I want to keep the card with the gift card, like, you know, just memories. So every time I see this like Christmas card, like it just makes me think of my grandparents, like how much they loved us, like my wedding, and like how like they couldn't be there, but like they kind of were. So I don't know. That's definitely my favorite so far.
Okay, you win. That's incredible. But like, what if someone did that for one of your letters later? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think about that now, especially having a grandson, you know, and those kind of things. Like, I think about that. Like, what if one of my letters to him will make that impact on him someday? And I just like, blah, you know, that kind of legacy piece is not in a text message. Though that can be so lost. But letters, like, I know some people that are on with us have mentioned like having a box of letters that they keep all those things. And I know I do too. Yeah. Absolutely. I love holding on to those things for sure. So the last thing that I kind of want to leave us with today is the question of, for someone that might feel a little bit overwhelmed about actually sitting down and writing a letter, what do you think are some tips that could help them feel more at ease and excited about the process rather than kind of like dreading it?
So like, first off, blank paper syndrome is like a legit real thing. Like you sit down in front of like a blank piece of paper and you're like, I don't know what to do. It seems so permanent. Yeah. But like, I don't know, like even if you were to write something and scribble it out, I feel like that's part of the charm of the letter. To get started, I would just say like, I don't know, just go from the heart, even if you're like, hey there, or like, you know, back in the day, like in notes I'd write to my friends, like, I'm not sure what to write. And then like, meanwhile, you know, like 2 pages later. Right. You know, like start with a joke, or even like, it sounds weird, but even asking a question like, how are you doing? Or, you know, even just like an encouraging statement, like, hey, just wanted to check in and, you know, send you a little happy. And literally, even if you wrote just like one sentence and like signed your name, like that's huge, you know? If you're like a scribbler, like maybe you want to like doodle something. If you have kids, like, especially young kids, like hand it to them and have them like draw on the page. Like my niece and nephew do that for our cards that my sister-in-law and brother-in-law give us. And like, I hang them all up. Like, I love it. And she'll sometimes like write over it. It's kind of like just like a double layer, like piece of art. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid.
I love that.
Yeah. Just like put pen to paper. And even if you're just like, hey, exclamation point, sometimes that's enough to just like get it going.
Yeah, great advice. And I also love the doodling idea, or just kind of being creative with what you're doing. And I know back in the day when I had the million pen pals, we did a lot of, I mean, this is going to age me so much, but like we even would send like mixtapes to each other in the mail. And we would actually sometimes with my pen pals, we would just have a tape go and we would just talk on the tape and like send that along with like maybe a couple scribbles or something. But I mean, I would even say like, it's okay to kind of like get creative that way too. And maybe, you know, whatever you're feeling like, for sure. I love it. So good. Well, I hope this has encouraged you all to get started and to join us for this Happy Mail Challenge. We are just 9 days in. You can start anytime if you haven't been joining us yet. But really, sending a tangible note is so much more special than a text message or an email or whatever. I mean, those are great too, for sure. But I think especially right now when we're all feeling so disconnected, it's a very tangible way of connecting. So it takes time, it takes effort, it even takes money. So when you go out of your way to send Happy Mail, it's instantly appreciated, like we mentioned earlier, even 1,000 times more. It's this tangible action that you can take, that you can actually hold on to. So
I also want to add that
yes,
when you're writing the happy mail, you will get an instant boost of happy yourself because you're like thinking of this person, like how they make you feel and stuff. So like if you're feeling down, like that's definitely something to help like break out of maybe like your day or like your routine and just like take 15 minutes and like pen a note. And it might not be like a complete day turnaround, but it'll definitely be a mood boost and at least make you smile. So
for sure. Like I talk to my clients all the time when we're talking about self-care and they ask me like, what do you do for self-care? They're usually surprised when I tell them I write letters. But for me, it's this like release.
Yeah.
It absolutely is self-care for me. Plus I know I'm going to be making someone happy and that means just as much to me as it does to get it out. So yes, 1,000%. Now, y'all know Megan's amazing, but the other thing that she is amazing about, you guys, is that if you go to her website, oh my goodness, Praxis Design Studio. If you go to her website, you're going to get 15% off your purchase if you use code Club Meg through the end of this month. Best code ever. So use that code, buy some great cards and stationeries and party goods and all the happy that she has over on her website. And next week, actually, I'm going to be having another friend of ours, Amanda Shell from Hello, Amanda Shell. She's going to be on with me for Mondays with Meg. And we are going to be chatting all about the healing benefits of encouraging words. You guys are not going to want to miss it. She is just an amazing artist, an amazing friend, and I cannot wait for you to meet her. So Megan, thank you so much for having this time with us today. And y'all get writing. Get writing and remember to use the hashtag Happy Mail Challenge. We want to encourage you on this journey to be sending encouraging letters every day in the month of November. Have a great day, friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.